Joining us on Key Factors, presented by the raceguide.com.au. Stu Rich and Mike Wood here to take you through the massive 10-raced Everest card at Royal Randwick this weekend. It's not just tips you'll be getting from us tonight, but plenty of analysis. Of course, we'll be running our own mini races at the top right-hand side of the screen, so keep your eyes peeled for those. And Mike, what a weekend of racing is going to be. 10 races, as I say. I get pretty excited for days like this, mate, and I know you do as well.
Yeah, I'm bubbling over with excitement this weekend, mate. It's hard not to get carried away with all the events this week. You know, I love my dad, you know, I love my form.
True.
But all the events leading in are so exciting. We've been to a couple of them. The barrier draw this week, what a great event for Sydney, what a great event for racing. And not many people out there know that you're actually involved behind the scenes. Were you happy with that barrier draw, Stu?
Oh, mate, I'll tell you what,
the
night went very, very well, and I'm just great to see this whole weekend in front of us, mate. That was Tuesday. This is Thursday. We're on to racing Saturday, and we've mentioned what a great day it is going to be out there, but any advice for those punters out there that are just going to tackle the big Everest day? 40,000 in the crowd. How are they going to enjoy it?
It's such a big card, such a hard card for racing analysts out there, so play it careful. Keep it simple is my main advice.
Right.
And maybe look at all the key factors. Obviously, the one key factor to check for during the carnival, stage of preparation. Backing horses in their grand final is always a great way to go.
All right, bit of advice there from Mike to keep it simple there on Saturday. And Mike, well, hopefully we can keep it simple with the weather forecast because it's been very favourable to us. So let's check the track conditions.
Can you believe it? After last year, we were dodging the rain.
I know.
For room under the bar, under the cover. The rail's true. It's a good 4, and hopefully it's a fair track. Could be a little bit near pace if it firms up, but it should be pretty fair on Saturday. OK, look, there's a look at the conditions and, of course, Mike, 10 races to choose from. We've got the job of choosing 5. I know the Everest is in there. Good card of racing. Where are we going? Deep racing, evenly matched racing. We need some luck on Saturday as well as some good analysis. We'll stick with the features, starting the Kosciuszko, then the Sydney Stakes. What a great race that is. The Tab Everest, race 7, just after the ad break. We love that race, the St Ledger. And finishing off, we have to do race 10, the Get Out Stakes on the Everest Day. All
right, so it's race 5, the Kosciuszko, the first one that we're going to be diving into in depth. So keep a little look at the top right-hand side of your screen as our mini race started later on, Mike. It is the Kosciuszko, and I'll tell you what, all those tickets bought are funding this race. What a story it has been, and what a story it'll be for these slot owners should they get their horse home. And it is Victorum, fresh, absolute brilliant win in Brisbane before going out for a break. Deserved $2.50 favourite here. Noble Boy, another one just absolutely aimed for this, and of course chasing Victorum home back there in the Brisbane winter in June. We've got Handle the Truth there, $8.50. Fresh, we've got Notation there, $8.50, sorry, fresh off the second in the Tibby. And Mike, awesome pluck, $13. We know what a great race this horse ran in the race last year, but Victorum is a deserved favourite. In this replay, we are going to see why.
Yeah, let's have a look at this replay and see this massive, massive win. We said to keep it simple at the start of the show, and the Racing New South Wales handicappers, led by Damien Hay, have helped us out. We are simply looking for the classiest, highest rated horses, and Victorum leads that list. Noble Boy's back in the field here. How can he possibly turn the tables on this huge win from the favourite, Stu?
Well, mate, the key factors are hopefully going to tell us, Mike, but I don't know how they're going to do that. What a win.
Massive win. 1,200 metres first up on a dry track is ideal for him.
OK, well, let's have a look at some outside of that form line, Mike. We're looking at Notation here, and this is obviously just back at Newcastle only a few weeks ago. This is in the Tibby, and look, a horse called Sweet Deal wins the race, Mike, obviously in good form, but a nice run here you've picked out from Notation.
Yeah, once again, sticking to the classy runners the handicapper have told us. Victorium's about 104 rated in the city in Metrop ratings. She's rated about 94, 96, and she's right down in the weight. She's so tough. She keeps on. Maybe 1,300 metres, 1,400 metres would have been better, but she's been freshened up and she's super tough. She should love Randwick on Saturday. OK, love a nice tough type at the races, Mike. Let's get the day's analysis started. We're looking for all the gold here as we kick off the Kosciuszko race 5 at Randwick. We can sit back. The handicapper's done it for us. Light up Victorum.
OK, so it's Victorum, the favourite, way out in front from second favourite here, Mike. Noble Boy, a lot of catching up to do, but of course progression can help horses do that.
Let's just race through these key factors. Noble Boy can progress, but can he progress enough?
OK, so Victorum, the one they still have to catch. Notation right there, the distance.
Yeah, Luna Mere stepping back didn't like it. Stepping up to 1,200 metres, Luna Mere should be the one that lights up for a gold bar here. The 1,200 metres at Randwick is a great factor for her. OK, no, Victorium still out in front. Notation and Noble Boy. This is looking like a 3-horse race, Mike. What about these track conditions? Looking for track conditions. Don't give a damn. Was on a soft track first up. Dry track second up, much better for him. OK, look, they're still got to catch him, Mike. Position in run, who does it help? Well, this is the thing. Maybe in a bit of a firm track, you want to be front half. Maybe we've been kind to Victorium because he can be a little bit slow early. Notation will be right there. Handle the Truth will be right there. and Don't Give a Damn will be on pace too.
OK, so a lot of gold there to finish off the Kosciuszko, but it is Victorum out in front. A lot of love for the Racing New South Wales handicappers here, Mike.
Simple.
We've seen why. Let's have a look now. Time for a bet here in the Kosciuszko. Victorum there, Notation just in behind. One's $2.50, one's $8.50, and that's a few lengths back to the rest of the field.
Yeah, maybe giving a mention to Bellfly. Won this race last year and does handle a dry track, so maybe don't rule him out. Don't Give a Damn can improve second up. Noble and Boys only had a few starts. He could do something.
Yep.
But we really think this is a two-horse race. The best bet, Victorium, and Notation's a great each-way play. One of those two horses will win for sure.
All right, some confidence to kickstart the day in the Kosciuszko, but it is Victorum for us to kick things off. The next race we're going to have a look at is the Sydney Stakes, with that great horse Brutal lining up after its huge win in the Premiere. And it won't be that price it is today. $1.85, been smashed in from $2.25. Deserved favourite here on the way to the Golden Eagle, obviously. And, of course, Home of the Brave was in that race as well. Led them up that day, $7. Champagne Cuddles. Don't you just want a horse like this in your stable? 23 starts, 4 wins, 6 seconds, 6 thirds. Deprived, $10. Running from the Rupert Clark there in Melbourne, and of course Brave Song behind Renewal there in Melbourne as well. So look, a few different angles to look at here, Mike, but we know that Brutal Home of the Brave form, that's just serious form.
Yeah, Brutal 3 starts ago when he got to those Group 1s and he hit a wet track, he really went up in the ratings, 2 or 3 lengths, and the rain came before this day. And boy, the money came in the mounting out just before the race. He was on pace. He was aggressively ridden by Tommy Berry. The favourites out the back, Osborne Bulls pulled up lame. Classique Legend, did he run his race? Was he quietly ridden? I just don't know what to make of that. In the end, Brutal has just beaten Home of the Brave, which is a strong run, but not an amazing run. 5
horses in this race, and so many stories came out of it.
So many stories. It was a lot of drama. The favourites were beaten. Brutal, very strong to the line, though.
All right, let's have a look at a horse that we know absolutely tries. We're speaking of Champagne Cuddles, and of course, this is Group 1 TJ Smith form with a lot of Everest runners around, Mike. This horse, well, just doesn't give up.
Yeah, look at Santran Lane out wide and look at Champagne trying hard. This is 4th in a Group 1, which is simply better than the Sydney Stakes on the weekend.
Yep.
Her record at Randwick, barring the mile run when she came from barrier 20, is amazing. She will run a massive race. She gets the blinkers on, Nash on. She has to go close on Saturday.
How good is seeing that win from Santa?
He's going to be hard to beat for sure.
We will be seeing that later in the Everest. That is still to be decided. Let's get this race started now, Mike. It is the Sydney Stakes, and Brutal, with that great win last start, obviously lighting up the form.
Yeah, but what to make of beating 2 favourites who were slightly disappointing? Light him up, but we could have given him more of a gold bar, maybe.
All right, so questions to start. What about progression?
Yeah, he can definitely improve second up. Brutal, who has had a bit of improvement to come in the yard. Champagne Cuddles, third up. She's improving all the time.
OK, so it's Brutal out in front from Champagne Cuddles as we hit the all-important distance.
Yeah, distance includes tempo. Champagne Cuddles had a slow tempo first up, slow tempo second up. She finally gets some pressure in the race. She loves it.
All right, we had 2 standouts in the last race, Mike. Looking like that here, Brutal and Champagne Cuddles. Who loves the dry track?
Well, dry track at Randwick in particular. She absolutely loves Randwick. Deprives unbeaten at Randwick.
Right.
And Brave Song should prefer the Sydney way of going.
OK, so it's Champagne Cuddles as they round the bend. What about the position in run? Who gets this in the Sydney Stakes?
Well, there's a lot to talk about. Most of them OK. We've given Brutal a gold bar because he's drawn on the inside, but that's very, very risky for an odds-on favourite, I think.
I'll tell you what, there's a lot of favourite backers out there that aren't too hopeful of the $1.85 there, Mike, based on those ratings.
Risky.
Let's have a look now at the way we're going to play the Sydney Stakes. And, well, you just saw it there. That horse, Champagne Cuddles, just going to a nice 1-length win. Great, great value here, $9. The favourite, Mike, $1.85, only a length behind. But then a few lengths back to a few of these. So you've really signalled out these two.
Yeah, similar pattern to the first race, isn't it? Home of the Brave, Brave Song, Easy Eddie, Deprived. They're all a chance, but an each-way chance at best. We're zooming on those 2 horses at the top. Brutal inside Barry. He will get crossed. And once he gets crossed, you won't want to be on $1.85. So we'll take Champagne Cuddles each way.
Oh, we love each way value on Everest Day. Champagne Cuddles there for us in the Sydney Stakes. Stick around after the break. We've got 3 more big races coming your way, including the feature, the Everest. Welcome back to Key Factors, presented by theraceguide.com.au, and we don't have to wait any longer for the Tab Everest. What a race this is going to be. So let's jump straight into the market, and Santa Ana Lane holding favouritism on Thursday night. We know this horse is great. What is he going to produce? Where is he going to get to in the run, Mike? Well back. Arcadia Queen, what amount of money for this horse. into $4.80. That's some serious money since the barrier draw. Piarata drawing the inside, $6. Yes, yes, yes. Gets a run in the field at $9. The Big Red, the champ, going for 3 Everests in a row, $9.50. Elise for Godolphin there, $12. Sunlight, it's just going to posse right there. And Classic Legend, the queries are on this boy, Mike. But Santa Ana Lane deserves favouritism. But look at that money for Arcadia Queen.
Yeah, unbelievably great, Mark. It's such a closely matched race. Red Cell's the champion for the Everest, but Santa Ana Lane, there is no doubt he is the champion sprint. Let's have a look at the last 2 Group 1 finales to see how good he is. TJ Smith, Group 1, comes to the outside on a soft track, this champagne colours we saw before, gets to the outside, blasts past Sunlight, Piarata, Redzel, and goes away by 3 lengths, Stu.
Look,
massive win.
You were so confident on him this day, Mike. And he just went off a price again. That was the biggest thing. He's not going to be that on Saturday.
You know, people say he likes a dry track, but I would prefer him on a softish track because, you know, the supers can come into the race. A very firm track on Saturday, an inside barrier, makes me a little bit worried.
OK, well, let's have another look at a race last year that was post the Tab Everest. We are talking about the VRC Classic, another Group 1 here, Mike. And we'll look so many of these horses in it again. We've got Santa Ana Lane and, importantly here, In Her Time, who races fresh on Saturday.
Yeah, this is the most interesting, one of the most interesting runners in the race. First up on Saturday with Brenton Abdallah on board. At her best, she is right there. She pushes Santa Ana Lane all the way here. They beat Piarata and Redzel.
So
this is the Group 1 finale on a dry track again. Look at both of them clear out there, Stu.
They are putting a few lengths on there, Mike. You've got to have a look at all these replays. And here's another one. Well, the money's come, Mike. We just have to have a look at this because she was well back this day as well. Arcadia Queen sat off the pace here, but made pretty light work of them here in the Theo Marks.
Yeah, I said In Her Time was the most interesting runner. I lied. Arcadia Queen by far is the most interesting runner. In the confirmation, in the yard, she looks like a 1,600 metre type. She was first up over 1,300 metres against sprinters. She absolutely smashes them. But what did she beat? Only Gem Song and Trope ran a race that day. Trope was against the bias. The ratings are around the mark, but not excellent.
OK, where is she going to enter? How could she be? That is the big question.
She has to improve.
The Tab Everest is going to answer all that for us on Saturday. Let's have a look now, Mike. I am intrigued for this, and straight away, In Her Time with some gold.
Yeah, I mean, her form last preparation was right up there. She resumes first up. She likes it. Light her up. OK, let's get this race started, Mike. Progression, obviously a few of these have got it. Yeah, Santa Ana Lane can return to that level. He'll improve second up. Yes, 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 as a young 3-year-old. He can improve, and Redzel fit a third up. He always peaks on the day.
Oh, looking forward to seeing him running again, Mike. What about the distance?
Yeah, 1,200 metres, strong tempo. Santa Ana Lane, Piarata will absolutely love it. Arcadia Queen will like it, but she preferred 1,300 metres, I think.
All right, Santa Ana Lane has hit the front here, Mike, of Piarata and In Her Time giving chase, but not going to be a wet track this year. No rain about. We're on the dry.
Yeah, big kicker coming for Classic Legend. He's big, he's strong, he's powerful in the yard. He didn't like that soft track last start. He gets a firm dry track on Saturday.
All right, potentially the forgotten horse of the race there. Classic with some gold. Position in run, Mike. They're going to go hard here. Who's going to get this?
I've never watched a barrier draw so closely. These are the ones we think draw well. Redzel can go across. Sunlight can go across. Classic Legend, 1 up, 1 back, or 3 pairs back. In Her Time draws perfectly.
Well, one thing the ratings are telling me there, Mike, that we've got value all the way down the page with Classic Legend in the gold and In Her Time. But, of course, Santa Ana Lane right there as well. What a race this is going to be. Everyone's got a tip for the Tab Everest. Here we are, $4.40, the favourite there, Santa Ana Lane. But look at that right in behind, $17 and $23. You are clearly a forgiving man with Classic Legend and In Her Time. I mean, she is just rock solid.
Yeah, Classic Legend first up around Piarata. He'll improve third up on a dry track. In Her Time, why is she $23? She's amazing. But this is an open race. Santa Ana Lane, watch the track pattern before diving into him. Look, if you like anything at home, just back it because it's a great race. We'll go In Her Time and Classic Legend, but lots of these horses can win.
Taking value in the Everest, that's what we're doing.
I think you have to.
All right, there's a look at the Tab Everest for us. Up next, it is the St Leger Stakes. We've got the feature for the stayers here. Of course, so much metropolitan form coming to the fore here with Come Play With Me, the winner there at $4.20. Gallic Chieftain, one of those that chased home last start at $4.80. We've got Sir Charles Road there, $7.50. Youngstar, $10, really mixing its form here, of course, coming through the Hill Stakes. And Hush Rider coming through the Newcastle Gold Cup. It's wearing some gold on Saturday, Mike, and we've got to see if it's got some gold in the key factors later.
Yeah, he didn't have some gold last start because he hated a wet track and he did OK in a wet track and he's back to dry on a Saturday, so maybe he will get some gold. Let's have a look at one replay because we've got 3 for the Everest. This is the Metrop, the lead-up race. Nerfbosk is the one. We've started this replay a bit earlier because we want to see what happens to him. He was $10 in the market. He was travelling OK. and he gets absolutely poleaxed. And I think Nash just says, no, I've had enough. Brenton Avdulla on Come Play With Me, a fantastic ride. Gallic Chieftain loves to sticky round. He ran really well. And Sir Charles Road, all preparation been going really well. He's in the mix, drawn well on Saturday.
All right, Mike, because we've got to go back to these replays, don't we, to just really have a look. You've done your analysis, but when you find one that, well, let's face it, clearly drops out here, you've got to see how much forgive we can.
Oh, we have to put a pen through that run completely. Gallic Chieftain back to good, maybe a bit of a negative. Patrick Aaron out wide. That was against the bias that day.
OK, so...
Another close finish, though.
There was a great day out there at Randwick that day, as it will be on Saturday. Let's get all the analysis started here, Mike, for the St Ledger. Show us who's got the gold.
Well, this is a set weights event, which is very interesting. So Gallic Chieftain almost won and only goes up 3 kilograms. So light him up with the gold. OK,
so he's the one they all have to catch, Mike. And, of course, a few of these getting deeper in their preps, progression.
Yeah, progression does matter for these days, which one's shining and fit in the yard on the day. But you have to check the yard. We don't know which one it's going to be.
Well, you'll be in there checking all the yard on Saturday. What about the distance?
What is Young Star doing this preparation? Is she going well? Is she not going well? She ran well in the Melbourne Cup, so maybe 2,600 metres can help. OK, now a few of these, Mike, have had a bit of bias, a bit of track conditions against them. What about the dry track? Yeah, very interesting. We think Gallic Chieftain back to a dry Randwick's a bit of a negative. Some other horses around him can do better. OK, so it's Gallic Chieftain still out in front here from Come Play With Me and Sir Charles Road as they round the bend, 2,600 metres PIR. He deserves a win, doesn't he, Sir Charles Road? Drawn for right on the pace, he'll be hard to beat.
Well, he's got a win here. Well, an equal win, let's call it, on the key factors, levelling up there with Gallic Chieftain. But is that enough for a bet? Let's have a look now at all the analysis now we've done for the St Ledger with all the odds thrown in. And Mike, Gallic Chieftain, Sir Charles Road, Nerf Boss, all coming through the Metrop. One did not get a crack at them, as you've said. One's $19 and the rest are right in the market.
Yeah, betting markets are funny things, aren't they? $10 he was last start, had no luck. Now he's $19. 2 starts to go on weights and measures. He beats Gallic Chieftain in this race. So $19 is looking pretty good. Patrick Aaron, he's a big price too. But it is a very close open race. Maybe win only for Nerf Boss. His European form's great. And Patrick Aaron, a great each-way play at big odds. OK, so Nerf Boss for us there in the St Ledger to get a little bit more luck this time around. And as we round out the day, very late in the day, it is the Star Mile and it is race number 10. And, of course, Kelly Rowland will be in the yard straight after this performing. And let's get all the punters home with a winner so they can just dance the night away. Junipal, $4.20. His horse has been up for so long, obviously sticking at the mile. Cascadian, well, interested to see what you say about this horse coming out of the Epsom, Mike, $4.60. We've got Dealmaker there, last start. Congratulations to those got on. Win number 2. And, of course, Penske around that sort of form line as well. We've got Articus that also went through for a win a couple of starts ago. Ranier as well around the mark, $11, then out the gate, Mike. But, look, Junipal deserves favourite, and the way it picked them up last start was very good to my eye. Let's have a look at that. Well, yeah, ran in the Group 1 last start and was 3 wide no cover and knocked up out of its grade. This is 2 starts ago, and it came up from Melbourne in a 1. It settled midfield. It was well favoured in markets. It has had long preparation, hasn't it, Stu? Yeah. But it just keeps delivering and just keeps turning up. It's been racing since the winter in Queensland. It runs down Graceful Glamour. Dealmaker well out the back, runs on well. But it was well beaten this day, Stu. Well beaten this day, but obviously comes out and has a win, Dealmaker. But, geez, Junipal just can find the line. Yeah, and he can go forward on Saturday, and there's not that much pace in the race. All right, we'll see here. Well, look, as we do here on Key Factors a lot, Mike, we get a few random replays in. You found a random replay here of Fresh, My Nordic Hero, back about November last year. And, of course, this day it was backed at pretty big odds. Very sneaky first up go and pushed a good horse called First Hand all the way to the line. Over a distance is probably too short for him. The trials, this preparation had been very good. 1,200 metres his last trial. Good track, 1,600 metres first up with an apprentice on board. Watch the market very, very closely for this race to race 10. A year ago, I do remember seeing that race and having a bet on it. I don't think I was on that one that day, but that doesn't matter. Let's get on a winner on Saturday, Mike. We've got to round out the day. We're in the Star Mile. Who's got all the gold, lighting up the key factors? What are you talking about remembering have a bet? When have you not had a bet, Stu, on a Saturday? Junipal light him up 2 lengths, way down in the weights with Robbie Dolan on board. All right, Junipal, the one they have to catch. What about progression? Looking for progression. Cascadian's been a bit scratched in the yard, so we'll give him a bit of improvement. Emperor's Way can improve second up. The Lord Mayor can improve second up too. True, you've definitely been saying that about Cascadian, so a big yard watch there. What about the distance, the mile? Yeah, we think Ranier, 2 starts ago on a strong tempo, loved it. He's definitely looking for the mile. Last time he was at the mile, he pushed Dealmaker at the weights. He he'll be very hard to beat on Saturday.
All right, plenty of gold down the bottom of the page there. So potentially some value coming into the race here, Mike. And who likes this good track?
Yeah, good track. Emperor's Way coming up from Melbourne. We'll like it.
OK, so Juniper just in front from Rounier at decent odds, around about $11 there, Mike. But is position in run enough to get him home?
Yeah, based on the Thursday night, these are the two we like. Penske leads easily. Juniper can push forward. Robbie Dolan on board. But look for riding announcements, because some more might go forward in race 10.
All right, so Juniper just skips clear at the end there, Mike. I'll tell you what, there's going to be a few favourite backers that might be loving jumping on that. We'll see if it does start at $4.20 late in the day. Let's have a look now to see how we're going to get out for the day. Look, $4.20, we've said a few good things about there, Juniper, Mike, but as we say, very, very deep in the prep, bit of a query, but I like what I saw there with the key factors. It went ahead and we got some confidence.
Yeah, maybe we're breaking our own rule. Very deep in the preparation, off his grand final. This is not his grand final, so maybe win, bet only, not each way, because he could win, or he could just knock up and go pop and go to the yard again. But Juniper, if he runs to his ratings, will be so hard to beat. And My Nordic Hero is the best smoky all day long. All
right, we need a bit of each way value there in the last with My Nordic Hero. Juniper, too good. There's a look at the big card at the Tab Everest Day this Saturday. We've got plenty more coming your way, including our exotics and, of course, our feature multis. Welcome back to Key Factors, presented by the raceguide.com.au. Well, it is the biggest day of punting in the New South Wales calendar, the Tab Everest. Mike, we've had a look at 5 races, but I tell you what, I'm not just betting on 5 races. I want to have a fair few bets out there on Saturday, and so do all the punters. We've got to find them 5 more winners than what we've just found.
Let's do this. Let's get a fill-up on Everest Day, starting with Gerald Ryan. He's flying, isn't he? The 2-year-old race, time and precious trial. Well, Johnny Vink up to 2,000 metres. He'll be so hard to beat. A swooper early in the day, Lady Demi. A lot of strong tempo on that race. The Highway, Betcha Flying, 1,400 metres. She's absolutely crying out for it.
Yeah.
Victorium, 250, and Notation each way. Champagne Cuddles each way at $9. Classic Legend in a very, very deep Everest. Lively Extraordinary third up. He can improve. Nerf Bosk is valued at $19. And Juniper, probably the best bet of the day at $4.20, race 10, Stu.
Well, don't mind that at $4.20 for a best bet of the day.
Dolan on board, we love him.
And look, Mike, plenty of new punters to the track on Saturday. And look, $100 isn't too much to ask them. Of course, they can stake their plan accordingly, though. $100, they're going to the races. How are they going to play? We want this to be spread nice and wide so they can have a play in each race.
Yeah, we've been scratching around lately, keeping it even, but our profit on turnover is really good this year. Again, same as last year. A lot of each way bets on Saturday, starting with $10 each way Notation, $8. So hard to beat near the pace. $10 on Champagne Cut as well. She absolutely loves Roundwick. Everest, so deep, like we said, but there's the 3 that we like. Classic Legend, Dry Track, so hard to beat in a time. First up, Check the Yard. And 10 Sovereigns has got big group form from Europe. Nerf Bosk at $19. Juniper, the best bet of the day. And My Nordic Hero, the big grade, the best roughie all day long. You have to wait for race 10, though.
Wouldn't that be nice? $5 on the 34-1 shot.
Maybe $10 for us.
Down the outside on Saturday. And, of course, time for our charity multi. We're doing that for Dementia Australia, so we've got to up the ante here. A nice little collect last week, so let's try and keep it going this week. And let's have a look now, because we're starting off with a multi. And I'm going to start in race 5, Mike. Notation, $2.50 a place. And you've given credit to the Race New South Wales handicappers here, so let's keep everyone happy. So $2.50 there. Champagne Cuddles, well, this is just a mole to run a place, surely. $2.60. And, Mike, I was going to start with a place, but, you know, I think you've sold me on this now. $4.20 Juniper. I want to be running to that concert with a win under my belt, so we'll put her in for a win. $4.20. $10 there at 27-1, which would be lovely. And, of course, the Kosciuszko, Mike, the Quinella, race 5, Victorium Notation. The stats just said it. The key factors just said it. This is a dead set 2-horse race. We'll just have a nice cheeky $10 on that.
Doesn't take a rocket scientist. Win by 2 or 3 lengths according to the ratings, as simple as that. And how many races does Robbie Dolan run in race 10? Juniper will be so hard to beat.
He's going to be running straight from race 10 out in the mounting yard for the big concert. And what a day it is going to be out there for Tab Everest Day. Mike, I'm still got to do all the form Thursday, Friday nights. There's so much to get through, but you've got to head to the raceguide.com.au to get all your feature profiling for what is going to be an amazing weekend. That's all from us. We'll see you out at the track, and of course we'll see you again next week on the show.
Enjoy Everest Day.